So listen to this, Mick. There's a Superstars taping, and you're going to team with Steve Austin and Farouk against Bret Hart, Ahmed Johnson, and The Undertaker. Taker's going to pin you after a tombstone, but boy, what a group that is. I mean, Ahmed Johnson's clearly somebody they've had high hopes for at this point, maybe 2 years. The Undertaker is still the phenom here. Bret Hart, probably the top guy or one of the top guys in the biz. Austin's on the rise. And here's Farouk, just a man's man, but maybe in a less than awesome gimmick. But we're transitioning into Nation. Farouk? So the Rumble, if you remember, there's a Nation coming around. So now we're no longer Blue Farouk.
Okay.
And we're trying to be a more militant badass, if you will. But that feels like an interesting pairing. I mean, Bret Hart teaming with The Undertaker and Ahmed Johnson. Interesting group.
First of all, let me go back to our inability to defeat the Godwins.
Yes.
So, not a knock on Phineas I or Henry O, but if you're not getting a win over, if you're Vader and Cactus Jack and you're teaming up, which could be seen as a super team, you know, if you want to, it could be
multiple-time world champion,
and you can't score a win over. Listen, jumping ahead to post-Mania, when I was the Undertaker's first opponent in Revenge of the Taker, Leon and I couldn't beat the Headbangers.
Right.
Like, we had a double count, whatever the schmaz was, but when this is going back to what we talked about at the top of the show, do losses hurt you? Not necessarily, but if you can't get wins ahead of your big matches, if you're heading into a main event with The Undertaker and you've just had a count out with the Headbangers,
something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
So you do get the message in a sense, like, okay, we couldn't beat the Godwins. How does this bode well for us? But at the point, Conrad, I was in so much pain that I wasn't looking much beyond Mania because I wasn't sure how long I could go on.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, and I think I wrote about it, I thought it was the end of my career because we're not talking about 2 or 3 weeks with bad sciatica. We're talking about
August to now.
August through March, and it was a big part of the reason why I think my match quality dropped off in 97, picked up again in 98. Characters came on strong in 97. But if I had to pick a best match of the year for me, it'd probably be me and Triple H, September of 97. Things were getting a lot better by then, physically for me, and creatively as well.
Cactus Jack, maybe.
Yeah, Cactus Jack on the comeback. But there was a pivotal moment where a Middle East tour was canceled. And that gave me 2 weeks off. And prior to the 2 weeks, we were looking at definite minor surgery, possible major surgery, and whatever God was, God was looking out for me. I'm not so sorry, not insinuating more than one. Just saying that whatever the situation might be, whether it was God looking out for me or whether it was just nature taking its course, whatever was pressing on my sciatic was largely relieved after that 2-week layoff.
Wow.
And I felt, and I did have the minor injections done, but I avoided major
the needle
surgery.
in the needle, in between the discs. Yeah.
I think it's cortisone that coats it, and it can have an incredibly healing
for weeks or months or whatever.
Yeah. And that gave me a second lease on life. But as we approached Mania, I wasn't sure that I would ever have another Mania.
Are you trying things like the inversion tables and all that?
Oh yeah, I'm trying everything I can. I'm going to the chiropractor. I've got the inversion table. I'm going to a guy that's got the table that stretches you.
Yep.
I'm doing everything I can think of, all of it coming out of my pocket. And like I said, if I'm coming home, if I've got 3 days off, that first day spent being super dad, the second day spent trying to heal up everything I can and running errands. So you didn't have a lot of free time.
Were you in the back of your mind or actually planning with your wife, hey, what's a backup plan?
Sure, yeah. And I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
We really didn't know what it was going to be. We had we tried a couple of things, cactus jackets in '95, which was a failure.
But you ran it in like the back of magazines.
Yeah,
right?
I ran it in the back of the motorcycle magazine. But we were getting Pakistani leather, which is going to be the antithesis of what the Easy Riders, readers would like. Because it was so much cheaper to get, I guess, water buffalo from Pakistan than it was cows from the U.S. So the cactus jackets was a failure. We did get into the surplus business, which meant that I got a great cachet of WCW belts that actually sold at the gimmick table when I wasn't there. This is before, now anyone can go online and order themselves a replica belt. These were foam belts, but high quality. And so I was able to find through the surplus business wrestling stuff that would sell for me. So to make an extra like $200, $300 a night when you weren't at the table was a pretty big deal at the time, for sure.